So today we're going to discuss Dr. Burkat's interview, which the main topic was toxicities you may have in your home, in addition to the ingredients in those items that you may have in your home that can activate the cancer genes. I will also provide you with Dr. Burkat's 6 steps in minimizing the toxicity level in your home, with resources where you can purchase your new items, in addition to websites where you can continue doing your own research. Hi, I'm Carmen V. Luciano, and this is the Miscellaneous Vegan, where I share a little R&R, recipes, and reviews. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you like and subscribe for recipes and reviews in New York City and around the world. Welcome back to Coaching Mondays. So let's get right into it. So in the beginning of the video, Dr. Burkat discusses the hidden toxins that are in your everyday cosmetics that can turn on the cancer genes. So she discusses 3 ingredients: parabens, phthalates, and phthalates. All 3 ingredients are endocrine disruptors. I believe I am pronouncing that correctly. I'm going to read what she mentioned, what she said. So endocrine disruptors are chemicals that integrate with estrogen reactors in the body that can lead to a host of issues such as cancer, infertility, miscarriages, cognitive decline, etc. These are ingredients that are in your everyday household items. And she mentions 2 of them. The first one she mentions is CeraVe. I don't use CeraVe. I've never used it, but maybe perhaps some of you are using that item. So turn the label around and see if you have those 3 endocrine disruptors. The next household item that she mentioned that I have used before is Nivea body lotion. And she mentions how the issue with lotion is that you spread it around your entire body. It absorbs into your system and it's something that you don't wash off. You go to sleep with it, go to work with it. That's something to take note of. In the interview, they also discuss may be in the label generally regarded as safe. So that means there are no studies and ingredients that have been grandfathered in because they were already being used, although they have never been tested. So basically, whenever you see generally regarded as safe, it just means that it's not safe. They have grandfathered in ingredients that have been used for decades. And there are no studies that have been done with those ingredients. They just generally regard them as safe. There's no studies to say that they don't do harm, but there more than likely are. They go on to also discuss fragrances such as air fresheners, candles, something that I really love to use. And basically that all of that has a lot of toxins that you should not be inhaling on a daily basis. If you guys don't know Dr. Burkat, and I hope that I'm pronouncing her name right, she has her own YouTube channel, and you can go into her YouTube channel and she gives you very detailed information about different things that you shouldn't have in your house. But let's get back to what we're going to focus on now. So we've discussed the toxicity items that you may have in your house and the ingredients that are in those items that you should be aware of. So now let's move on to the 6 steps that she mentions to minimize your toxicity levels. So remember, they also mentioned it in the video. They're not fear mongering. That's not what I'm doing. I am trying to help you to minimize your toxicity levels. A lot of people say, oh, well, I'm going to die anyway, so I'm just going to live my best life and do whatever I want to do and eat what I want to eat. Yes, we are going to die eventually, but the difference between someone that thinks that way and someone that's trying to think like me or is already living the life that I want to live is when we reach that age of retirement, when we reach that age where we're close to meeting our maker. Will that be 60 years old for the person that wants to live their best life and not worry about toxicity levels, or 130 and living a strong, healthy life that I can take care of myself? You understand? So a lot of people die prematurely because they do not want to take at least one step into minimizing the toxicity levels. So let's move on to the 6 steps that she mentioned on how to minimize your toxicity levels, because in the world we live in now, it's so hard to not be exposed to toxic levels of ingredients in our life, but we can minimize that. So let's move on to the steps. So the first step to minimizing toxicity levels is your oxygen. She lists her steps based on the human necessity, things that you need to survive. So the first step that she mentioned is oxygen. Cannot live without oxygen. We cannot live without oxygen. So it's for you to purify the oxygen that you're intaking is to at least open your windows for 1 hour a day, whether it be winter. I think what she didn't say whether it be winter or summer or spring, but 1 hour a day is not going to kill you. Just open your windows for an hour, let it circulate. And she said, if you open your windows for 1 hour a day, that would allow for the air in your apartment and the air in your house, in those rooms, to circulate and purify. So there's a study that showed that indoor air quality can be up to 5% worse than the outside air. So that right there tells you that the reason that your air is dirtier than the air outside is because of the plugins that I do have, candles that you use. You know, you might have pets and you have cat litter box like I do. You have dogs. There's so many aspects of why your air is dirtier in your apartment, in your house, than it is outside. So that's why she says at least open your window for 1 hour. Also, that when you enter your home or your visitors, they should and you should take off your shoes because you are polluting the air in your own house. So it's best to ensure everyone takes off their shoes when they enter your home. In addition to when you're cooking, she says when you're cooking, if you have a vent fan, use a vent fan, turn it on and make sure it's like circulating outside. If you don't have a vent fan, open your door. I have a vent fan, but my kitchen is literally next to the door. It's right here in this corner, and the stove is literally next to the door. So I do tend to open my door, crack it open when I'm cooking, and use the vent fan and have my windows open. So that's what I'm doing now. Before I was just using the vent fan. And also not burning your food. The second step in minimizing your toxicity level is water. So we need oxygen to breathe and we need water to hydrate ourselves. We also need it to bathe ourselves. But most of it is us drinking it in, right? So she suggests that you get a water filter. In addition to making sure that you minimize the toxicity levels of the water you intake. So if you can't get a water filter, I suggest to just buy mineral water. The mineral water that I use is the Mountain Valley spring water. It's expensive. For one box of Mountain Valley spring water comes with 12 bottles. Let me see. I'm going into my kitchen, flipping a video of the boxes that I have. But for a box of 12 bottles and they're 33.8 fluid ounces, it costs about $33. So this is expensive. This is gonna end up expensive. You can email them. They do have shipping where they can deliver you 5 gallons or 2 gallons, as much as you need. But it's a payment plan. It's a program. So and even that is expensive. So I would recommend you buying a filter. I am going to buy the AquaTru filter that she did mention in her video. And Oreo, come on. That's my cat. She has to go to the vet. Right. So she mentions the AquaTru water filter, and I will link down below their website. I will also link down another video that discuss the AquaTru filter as another scientist. So in my research, it seems that AquaTru would be the best reverse osmosis filter for your house, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. A lot of these under sink water filters cost like thousands of dollars, but this one only costs $350. And if you go half on whoever lives with you, that's great, right? You save a lot of money compared to you buying boxes of Mountain Valley. I'm sorry, I really love the water, but they're expensive and I understand why. Continue on with water. So you want to get your filter in your kitchen and you also want to get your filter in your restroom, any water source that you have in your house. So if you have an apartment, you're going to have to ask your landlord if you can install the under sink. More than likely they'll be okay with it, especially if you have one of those hoses in your sink already. Um if not, you can get a countertop water filter. AquaTru does have those, but they're about the same price. So you can decide which one you want to do. I want to do the under sink because it just makes more sense. And I don't like a lot of things on my counter. In addition to, you want to put a filter in your bathroom for the shower and for the faucet if you're renting. Um, if you own a house, you can add your filters to your water tank, which I plan to do hopefully when our house is rebuilt. Gonna see if we can all decide to just add the water filter in addition to adding the water filter in your house. So just filter your water. That's what you want to do. Drink natural spring water or filter the water that you have in your house. So moving on to the third step to minimizing toxicity level is your food. So she basically says that eat organic and eat unprocessed foods. Eat whole plant foods rich in sulfur, such as broccoli, not frozen, garlic, onion, cabbage, and vegetables. So mainly eating your greens to help you clean out those toxins that are already in your system. So eating your greens. Then the fourth step to minimizing toxicity levels is your oral care. You want to just check the labels and try to get the cleanest items that you can purchase. Moving on to step 5, the fifth step that you can do to minimize toxicity levels is your cosmetics. She wants you to lower the levels of your cosmetics. She's and again, she's not saying for you to throw everything out, but to minimize it. So if you buy lip balm that has fragrance or a flavor, try to get a clean lip balm that has no fragrance, that has no flavor. And then this last step that she does mention is exercise. Mainly weight training and aerobic helps with minimizing the toxicity levels and helping the liver to clean your system. So those are the steps, okay? So I'm going to list them here so that you guys can take a picture and just take your time with each step. Don't rush into them. That is what I've been doing. I've been trying to minimize my toxicity levels one step at a time. Before watching this video, I honestly didn't know where to start, but I figured let me start with my water, because I drink a lot of it. So I changed the spring. Let me go get the water that I was drinking before. So you want to minimize your plastic intake, right? When you test this water with a pH liquid, this tests as alkaline. But again is in plastic. So there are microplastics going into this water, especially if they don't store it in a refrigerator. If you're purchasing this water and it's hot, then it could have been coming in a truck through the summer in heat. So all that plastic went into the water. So this is the one I was drinking because I was like, oh, it's alkaline. It's the best one compared to Poland Spring and everything else. I was drinking this. But because of the plastic, I'm just going to finish up. I know I'm not going to toss it out. I could put it in my plants or in my garden, but I moved on to drinking this, but then this was becoming really expensive. So I was like, I have to find another way. Now I found a filter, so that's what I'm doing. So just take one step at a time. So number one was the oxygen. So I'm not buying any more candles, even though you can buy beeswax candles. I'm just going to continue to open my windows, and use essential oils. Maybe I'll probably get a diffuser. I think I'll do that with my oxygen. Water, we're already getting the filter. Food, I'm already eating more greens than processed, and I'm kind of trying to cut that down. Oral care, ready there. Cosmetics, I don't wear makeup, but I do need to change my lip glosses. I have to look for a cleaner one. And then 6, exercise, and that's what I do. So I'm there. And then there's more steps where it goes into your clothing and goes into your bed, mattress. So it's just like there's a lot for you to think about. She only mentions the 6, but there's way more steps. But let's just try to work on number 1, right? Just work on oxygen. Just work on cleaning the air in your house first, right? Even if that takes you 3 months to just slowly use up your plugins, or you can gift them. Someone's birthday's coming, give them all the candles you have in your closet. I don't know. But if you really love them, then turn them on, but then open the window, because I wasn't doing that. So just work with the first steps, right? So I'm going to list below the sources for looking for healthier products that she mentions on her website that she's in charge of, the Swell Score. In addition to, I'm adding also sources to test your body for endocrine disruptors and BPA, and that is with millionmarker.com. And if you have a business and you want to be proven that your products are clean, then you can send it to the detoxproject.org. I'm going to link that information below. And also, if you're a parent or just in general that you want to know more about a company and you want to know if their products are safe, you can contact them and ask them for a certificate of analysis. And there you can read the data to see if they have any parabens, phthalates, and phthalates. Um, and you can also go to cleanlabelproject.org, and all that information, I'm going to put it in the description. There you have it, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them down below, and make sure you tune in next week for Coaching Mondays. And like always, remember, be real, not perfect. Bye.